It's the Meghan show. Meghan show. Meghan show. Meghan show. Show. Yeah. Woohoo! It's the Meghan show, everybody. Come on in, have a seat. I hope that you guys are having a lovely, lovely Wednesday. Get your little tea, coffee, water, your little cocktail, whatever you want to like sedoodle on. Now, for the first time ever, I don't have a whole lot to say because I feel like I've said it already. But nothing wrong with rehashing it, is it? Meghan's a loser. Hollywood has called her a loser, a failure, a loser and a failure. I'm going to look up what a loser is. So I looked it up, but before I read it, kisses to all of you. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Don't forget to hit like, share, and comment. And guess what? We are still trying to get to 5,000 before Christmas. And we only need 2,000 more. So I need my lovely subscribers to get out there and just tell people about me. And then I'll get more likes, more subscribes, and more people like you lovely people. Okay, listen. The loser. If you refer to someone as a loser, you have a low opinion of them because you think they are always unsuccessful. Meghan is a loser because we think very little of her. I have a low opinion of her. And she's unsuccessful in everything she does. Archie Wells a failure. Her marriage is a failure. Her relationships are a failure. Her relationships with her family is a failure. Her business deals are a failure. She's failing as a mom, I can say that. And I say that lightly because I'm trying as a mom and it's very difficult and I don't know how hard a time she's having it, but the thing is I call her a loser and ask as a mom because she doesn't allow them to see relatives. That's my point with that. But she is a loser. And that's why she was always a D-lister. Because she's a loser. And not only is she a loser, she's a loser because she doesn't have any creative ideas of her own. And then when she comes up with an idea, she likes to blame Spotify or Netflix or whoever that's doing it, giving her the opportunity when it fails that it was their fault. I heard through Kinsley Schofield that Meghan put out a statement about what was going on with Archie Well. I told you guys she was going to respond to that. She's not responding to the end game because she wrote it. But she is responding to anyone calling her a loser because she doesn't want anyone to believe that she's a loser. But you are a loser. And your chickens have came home to roost. Or your roosters. Whichever one. Because this is the end. This was one of the worst years she probably had. But it's not over yet. It's still being determined that they're having the worst year. And while she's over here being called a loser, which is a very bad thing to call her, especially when someone's trying to build a brand, WME. And there are rumors that WME will let her go. They're her only hope. If they let her go, who she's going to go with? Their competition? There's no competition. WME is competition. They're the who's. Megan's in trouble. She's a loser. They have called her a loser. This channel is over. We might as well just shut it down and go home and be done with it. She is no longer of interest. And it sucks for her because she tried so hard to become famous. Now to be looked at as a really distasteful person. No one likes her. Her friends don't like her anymore. Her family doesn't like her anymore. Her husband don't. No one does. The Sussex squad is over there on shaking grounds. What are you guys over there talking about? Are you talking about her loser moment? Or are you talking about that video that she played where you see her 25 times? Go over there to Sue Smith. She shows us a clip And she says, check out what you see. You see Meghan in every clip of her video, trying to say that they're doing good. Because here's the deal. Some people don't know that Meghan is a loser and that she's doing bad. Those that don't care, like my mom. My mom doesn't think that she's a loser because she doesn't know that she is. My point is that as she puts out those puff pieces about how she's doing great and the Archewell is doing great, she's lying to us. She's lying to us and trying to tell us, don't listen to them say that Archewell is not getting a lot of donors, but listen to us. Look how much work we've done. Meghan is a failure. She failed at Archewell. She failed at being a businesswoman. She failed at being a wife. She did, because she dragged her husband over here and tried to bully him and his family all at the same time. Yeah, she's a bully. She's a loser. And when you have now been deemed a loser, it's all down here from you. South Park called you soulless, that you didn't have a soul. You were lying about your privacy to her, but at the same time saying, look at me. Chris Rock called you, he said you hit the lottery, and it was over there lying about the skin color incident. He said it. He said everybody was asking, so therefore it wasn't racist. He said that wasn't racist. Let's repeat it. Chris Rock said, that isn't racist. Everybody wants to know what the skin color of the baby's going to be. They want to know what color hair, how nappy it's going to be, how straight it's going to be. Is he going to have big eyes, a big nose, little... I'm just going into a little bit more. Nobody care. Nobody care. And here's my question to Meghan. Since there was concerns about the color of his skin, what was the concern about, and what were they going to do to be able to fix the concern? Because they let you in, and if they let you in, why wouldn't they let your kids in? As a matter of fact, the Royals would probably love to have the kids instead of you. It was going to be a concern. If it was going to be a concern, they would have been concerned about your skin color first. And since they wasn't concerned about your skin color, why would they be concerned about your babies? Meghan has lied and lied and lied and lied. And now her lies are catching up with her. Because if she wants to pretend that Archewell is doing so well, remember she came out with a statement and saying that it was a new entity and all businesses that have a new platform suffer and have some setbacks. No, that was her making excuses for her loserness. That was her making excuses for her failures. Just like when she failed to be a princess in the UK. Now, any other woman Harry had a pick, she wouldn't have been able to handle it. But Meghan's a loser, and so she wasn't able to handle her walk as a princess. So as she jutted out and started blaming everybody else for the reasons why she left, we all see now. She's the loser. She's lying. She lied on King Charles and Camilla, and she's lying on the Queen in this book, and people are sick of her. She has finally done it. She has finally messed up her popularity to irreversible, meaning she won't be able to fix it. Because some people will... I was trying to forgive her at some point. I really wanted to. I wanted her to take accountability at some point and say, oopsie daisy, I made a mistake, and let's get this together. How can you feel sorry for someone like that? How can you feel empathy or Tyler Perry? Let me ask him, since he the one was flying jets everywhere and sending them over here to their freedom. Tyler Perry, how do you feel sorry for someone that doesn't take accountability for their own demise, but blames others for their own failures? It's everybody. My new intro on my page is Blamegame, quotations, and then whatever else I'm going to say. Because whatever Meghan does first is she's going to blame. And then she's going to do the shenanigans. Name one time she didn't blame anyone. Name one time she didn't blame someone for her failures. She blamed that she had to run from the kingdom because it was their fault she had to leave, because she was willing to do all this work for the queen. It wasn't her fault that she had to leave the UK. It wasn't her fault that she had to step down as a senior royal. It wasn't her fault that they came over here to the United States. It's not her fault that her brand isn't going well. No, she's going to blame Chris Rock, Family Guy, and YouTube. All of them. It's everybody else's fault. But you can't get away. Listen, you can't run away from these headlines, Meghan. You're a loser. I didn't call you a loser, but since they called it, I'm just going to, elaborate. You are a low opinion. You have a low opinion of them because you think they are always unsuccessful. They're only been trained to compete with other. No, I'm not even going to go into that. She's a loser, period. She's a loser. She tried to compete with the royal family and she failed. Not only did she try to compete with them, but she tried to demolish them at the same time and ended up demolishing herself. The things that she has done has put her in a situation as a loser and a failure. Because she has no one to blame but herself. No one twisted your arm and told you to make up a Archwell Foundation that you can't run. You wasn't running it. You're not running it. I don't mean to be forward about it, but it is what it is. She worked 1 hour a week. And then she just started doing work for it this last month. She was showing pictures of the video. The video was not any pictures that we hadn't seen recently. Kevin Costner, the New York, the health moment. Remember all her background, how she had it all set up for herself with that white outfit, telling them parents that she ain't got to worry about what they worrying about because her kids ain't on the internet. That she had all that in there. I'm surprised she didn't have Uvalde in there with the flowers or the kids. That was last year. She's trying to make up some stuff that she actually did. You didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. What has she given out to these people? I haven't heard that she's given. Let's move on. Let's move.
News for Harry and Meghan today is they've won an award. The bad news is they've been named the biggest losers in Hollywood. And let's face it, that must be up against some pretty stiff opposition. The influential Hollywood Reporter has taken aim at the Sussexes and it didn't miss. It wrote, after a whiny Netflix documentary, a whiny biography, and an inert podcast, the Harry and Meghan brand swelled into a sanctimonious bubble, just begging to be popped. And South Park was the pin. The show's 20-minute worldwide privacy tour takedown in March was savage and was followed by Spotify dropping archetypes with a top executive.
First, Archwell is failing, okay? Then her Spotify deal is failing. Then South Park came on and decimated them. Chris Rock came out and decimated her. Her friends came out and said something. I mean, everywhere you look, Meghan was being called out and called a loser, called a hypocrite, called a bully. Anything but what she calls herself. She is not an influencer.
Labeling the duo grifters. It also emerged that Harry and Meghan's charity, the Archwell Foundation, has suffered a massive £8.7 million drop in donations.
They have no donors. Sussex Squad, where the hell are y'all? I don't get it. They had 2 donors. That's it? That's how they raise their money? They don't ask the Sussex Squad for money? Oh, I forgot they're paying them. They're part of their fan club.
this year. Apart from that, it's been a spiffing year. And I'm joined now by GB News
Been a
royal
spiffy
correspondent
year.
Cameron Walker. We got the memo.
Wait, don't forget her father tried to get in contact with her. Let's add this year, and she still ignored him. But she doesn't ignore Harry's father, but she ignores her own.
About the grey suits here.
We certainly did, yes.
Cameron, look, it never rains but it pours for the Sussexers, but this is
And where are the kids? Is the kids ever going to see their relatives? Archie is almost 5 years old, and he hasn't seen any of his relatives. Any. 5 years old. He knows nothing about the culture, the UK culture. He knows nothing about his heritage, his family, and that's Harry's fault, because your child is going to grow up not knowing. And then when you try to explain it to him, it's going to be foreign, because you didn't balance your time between America and the UK like Meghan said she was going to do. You're the worst daughter-in-law that has come to town, because you guys are withholding the kids from seeing King Charles because they took a house from you. You must don't want to see the kids, Harry, because you must don't want to see the kids, King Charles, because you took our cottage away from us. What was going on before they took the cottage? Because y'all had plenty of time to get the kids over there to see. No, what it tells me is that you keep blackmailing your father and letting him know that as long as he doesn't do what you tell him to do, then he can't see the kids. That's that BS. When you withhold the kids from seeing their grandparents and their family because you got mental issues. She is not even looking that way to allow them to have a relationship. That's how disturbed she is. That's why she's a loser. Only losers keep kids away from their family. Only losers stop relatives and family from seeing their beloved grandkids and grand stuff and all of that. Only losers do that, because those days are over. Because you don't punish the kid because you're doing something stupid. You allow the kids to have a life that they should have. But since you're so selfish, it's all about you, milkshake mom. Since it's all about you, it really doesn't matter what's going on with the kids, because they're living for you, not you living for them. She is not taking, they're here for her needs and wants. I wanted Kara so that I can have a lovely daughter or whatever, and to raise her and give her life, and all my life is in hers. She's first. I get nothing for Christmas. I tell hubby, let's put my Christmas gift on hers. I don't know. We're good. No, they're the future, not you. Your future has already came and done what it was going to do. And now that we see ain't no talent there, because you cannot make it over here in America if people don't like you and if you don't have a talent. And so you are a loser, because you can't even pretend anymore that you don't have any talent. It's just not there. But then she's going to, again, about the kids, punish them because they grandfather took a house away from them. Your grandfather, I bet she's over there telling them kids too. Your grandfather took the cottage from us that me and Harry used to have, not knowing any of the backstory, not knowing what really happened, because that's how she treats us. That's how she treats us. She starts talking about somebody's racist, wasn't even in the room, and now we supposed to believe it. That's what she does. She's a manipulator. She is a big time loser manipulator. And if you sit and listen to her and believe what she says, you will be markled, as the Royal Rogue would say. Markled. You don't want to be markled. You don't want to be her friend because you need a friend. You don't want to work for her because you need a job. You don't want to do none of that. She will ruin you. Remember that one lady that came out that was at one of them events, and she was trying to say, she sent that picture out of Meghan looking weird, and the Sussex squad was telling her to take it down. Anyway, I don't even know her name. I don't know what happened. Let's move on.
Bad end of the year for them.
I think it
End of
certainly
the
is.
year.
And I mean, you look at the US media in particular this year.
I feel like that's what the royals do at the end of the year. They really get into the holiday spirit, and they also, reflect on what they've done that year. There was a lot of great things that happened during this year with the royals. Now, I do have a question for you guys. Do the royals have a video of the year of like what happened through the year, like the coronation and everything that they've done throughout the year? Do they do a video? Because I can't wait to see it, because I know it's going to piss somebody off. Oh, let's go. Let me stop talking. Let's see what they're talking about.
It's really of note because we had the Family Guy take of the couple, and indeed, as you said, the South Park.
First of all, Family Guy, you got the story wrong because, well, no, you had it right, but you probably should have just showed us one more scene, because they ain't got them deals no more. They ain't signing nothing and throwing money on the side and saying this. No, money is seeping out of their pockets. Let me show you how. Archie doesn't have any donors. They're not giving to this charity. The only people that's giving is Oprah and Tyler Perry and Meghan. Then they're at a deficit. So how are they going to continue to pay the employees anything if they don't have any money? Then I know I forgot what I was saying. But then I totally forgot because I went too deep, and I do that sometimes. So forgive me. Yes, the loser, the failures of it all, trying to do too much stuff, trying to do this and trying to do that and trying to do this and don't know how to do this, that, and that, and then end up failing, and then we watching it. And then instead of taking the failure as if she's done something wrong, she's going to blame them. That's not what happened. What actually happened was, but she can come out and explain what happened about that, but she can't come out and explain what happened to that book as if she didn't know it was out there. Meghan knows that book is out there. She see it. She's read it. And she believes all of that. She wants us to hate the royals
as well. But the latest blow, I suppose, comes to them with the finances of their charity, the Archwell Foundation. In 2021, donations stood at $11 million, which is roughly 8.7 million.
It stood, meaning they've had one or two donors that put that money in there, which is Oprah and Tyler Perry, I do believe.
Pounds. 2022, which is the latest figures we have, dropped substantially to $2 million, 1.6 million pounds. An overall loss in terms of the charity's finances overall, close to $600,000. So it's not been a great year. However, a source has told TMZ magazine in America that there is around $8 million in the bank. So we're not going to go bankrupt just.
Okay. So Meghan called up TMZ and told TMZ, no, we still have money. People are saying we don't have money. We do have money for the charity. We didn't spend the money. She's worried about us knowing that she may have spent the money. There's $8 million in the bank. How the hell are we supposed to know that? Did they receipts? Receipts. I don't believe that there's $8 million in the bank. I believe what Sue Smith said. I believe they're falling on hard times when it comes to finances, because they didn't even finish out the deal with Spotify, so they lost money in that one. And then Netflix only gave them so much, and I think, and they're still trying to collect on, whatever. So the money isn't there in my book, because the expenses is taking over, because Harry's got to pay for those lawyers, and now he's got to pay for one that he lost, and he needs to start thinking about the other 5 and then seeing if it's worth it. Because Meghan's going to blame that on you, honey. She's going to say that you did that. That was your court cases. That was his stuff. That's your brother. That's your father. That's what she said on the docuseries. That's your brother, Harry. You deal with it. No, you deal with it, because you're the one got us in this mess. You talk to my brother. You deal with it. You deal with it. Like he's the problem. You're the problem. You're the issue. You're the loser. I'm sorry. That's what they called her, and I can't help but keep saying it. You say it. Say it to yourself. They called Meghan a loser.
Yet, but nonetheless, it just shows that it's not going in the right direction at the moment.
Okay, we have
It was never going in the right direction. It was always going on some stupid stuff.
Things aren't looking too rosy for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Donations to the Archwell Foundation, their charitable art, by almost
Let's just hear it again.
£10 back in 2022. Well, back with us to discuss some of these stories is the associate comment editor at The Telegraph, Mutez Ahmed, and the writer and broadcaster, Candice Holdsworth.
And we must add, with Harry and Meghan, they've also been voted...
Or deemed.
Deemed, not voted, nominated, I don't know what you call it, described as the biggest losers in Hollywood, and that's by the showbiz.
The biggest showbiz. The biggest losers. Imagine me owning my own. I'm going to be Louis Vuitton for a moment. Okay. And I see that Meghan is the biggest loser. And she calls me up saying that she wants to market her brand. Hey, Letitia, I want to, I was wondering, you know, I'm the Duchess of Sussex, you know, Harry's wife, connected to the royals. Yeah, that's me. I was wondering if I could use your brand and wear your clothes or wear your stuff, like a bag, a purse. Let's go to Coach. I like Coach better. I'm the Coach Foundation. I'm the owner of Coach. I was wondering if I could wear, you know, some of your Coach bags and da-da-da-da. Let me get back to you. I'll have my secretary get back to you. Next thing I know, I see this biggest losers of Hollywood. And I'm looking at my team like, oh no, call her up and tell her we will not be needing her services. Meghan, yes, Letitia won't be able to see you. She said at this time we won't need your services. Okay, why? Well, you're a loser, so we can't have a loser branding us. And, you know, when you're over here in the United States, you're just as good as your brand. So we don't want you to tarnish our brand with the biggest loser. So sorry, and you're a hypocrite. And, oh, yeah, you still there? Yeah, and you trash your family. And you won't let the kids see their grandkids. Yeah, and your father's, you know, not well, and you won't even go see him or give him any money. But she's worried about Archie well. She's worried about what we say and how we talk about her failures. Because Meghan doesn't want to be a loser and she doesn't want to be a failure. So you can't tell me she's not over there hollering. Because I would be at this point because it's beyond repair. And like someone said, she just goes around and pretends like nothing's happening. It's happening, baby girl.
Bible, the Hollywood Reporter, things aren't looking too great for the
Hollywood Bible calls her a loser.
You know, it's such a lost opportunity. They could have gone over there, created something completely new, pursued all these wonderful...
There they go, talking about what they could have did. I did that too. Meghan could have came over here and did something if she hadn't opened her mouth and start trying to trash the kingdom. Because stupido didn't realize how much we love the royals. She thought that we were going to take her side. It shocks me. I say it a lot. I know.
But they pursued a kind of bitter agenda, and maybe there were financial reasons for it, maybe there were personal reasons for it, but I think it's damaged them. Maybe if they said one thing, maybe if they'd done one...
Excuse me. I've been saying it, I've been singing it, and I've been singing it. Her brand is all she has over here. If Meghan doesn't have a talent and start doing something, then she will not be able to stay in Montecito. And Montecito and Harry are going to have a fight because she doesn't want to go anywhere. And besides, she's going to use that Archewell money too if she needs it to stay in Hollywood. But over here, without a... I have to say this because she's not looked at as a princess. She's not looked at as the Duchess of Sussex. She's not looked at but anything but Meghan the D-lister and bordering on C-lister. She's an imposter. Meghan is an imposter everywhere she goes. Now she's in Hollywood as an imposter, and they are spitting her out. They are spitting her like a wad of gum. It's over. It's over. She has no friends. She has no deals. She has nothing. She has hit rock bottom. And and she keeps pretending to us and smiling and coming out, waving to the cameras like she ain't bothered by it. And we see that and we're just like, oh, well, maybe it's paradise in Hollywood. No. This has got to be another worse week for her. Last week we're still talking about it, but last week we were talking about something else. And something else before that week. And something else before that. It's a new show every day. But it is so much going on right now with these two. It is insane. And she can pretend that everything is going okie dokie and cushy wishy. No. And here's the deal. We're just not hearing about it. She already knows that she's a loser. She knew before we did. And then when it got out that she was, now it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's not shocking that she's called a loser. No, because she is a loser. Anytime you got to use a race card to be mean and despicable, for whatever reason you did, you're a loser. Because you can't do anything on your own. You came over here and used the royals for your money machine, and then it ended up crumbling on you, and now you don't know what the hell to do. Because everybody is running for the hills. No one is knocking at her door. She has no deals. This is a problem. This is a problem for WME. WME is concerned that they are not going to be able to do anything for this woman. Because she can't keep doing charity work and not getting paid for it. No one is paying her hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to come speak. What would she say? She has nothing profound to say, as we see. She talks about herself.
Interview. That would
Okay, so she's going to have all these speaking engagements, and no one wants to hear what she has to say because she's going to get up there and start talking about herself and say the wrong stuff. Her speeches falls flat. They're losers just like she is. And see, we wouldn't notice she was a loser if she had kept herself over there doing what she said she told the queen that she was going to do. Ooh. And listen, Meghan could have had a whole bunch of black people surrounding her if she wanted to, black women. Come on. I want you in. I want you next to me. It's not like she had someone available to help her out. She has a hard time with her clothes. She's supposed to be a princess. She looked the best when she was a royal. They dressed her correctly. I don't know what's going on today.
been okay, but I think it's just been a constant, steady stream, and a lot of people just don't like the drama.
And Mutaz, do you think that traditionally there's been this sense that Americans think about this in a different way to Brits, but now that Hollywood Reporter is sort of speaking along the same lines as some of the tabloid press over here in the UK, is that gap shrinking?
Yeah, I don't think it was true to begin with. You know,
Thank you. Let him say that again.
It's been a constant, steady stream, and a lot of people...
It wasn't true in the beginning. It wasn't. We wasn't split down the middle when Meghan came to Mexit. A lot of people just didn't care. But most of us have already felt this way about her. And then all she did with a lot of more stuff that she's doing is opening up her world and showing us who she is, like the 2-hour car chase. Now every New Yorker, most of them know that Meghan came over there lying. And so she's brought more awareness to herself, and not a good awareness. And so as she brings that awareness, it starts to crumble more and more and more, especially over here in America. I don't believe that Americans was loving on her like that. Look at who the Sussex Squad is. They're not even Americans. They're her Nigerian people. That's why she said that she's half Nigerian. And some of you guys that are Nigerian are saying that, I hope I'm saying that correctly, but are saying, no, she's not.
just don't like the drama.
And Mutaz, do you think that traditionally there's been this sense that Americans think about this in a different way to Brits, but now that Hollywood Reporter is sort of speaking along the same lines as some of the tabloid press...
Check it out. Let me tell you something. South Park busted open, wide open. I did a live during that time. That's what we think of them. They're grifters. They want to be in the limelight. For him to say that lets me know that he believed, and most people believe, that we have been on Meghan's side for a very long time, and we haven't. It started on the Oprah show. Meghan started going downhill on the Oprah show. It just took the dust a little bit. I need to cut that. It just took the dust to settle a little bit for it to happen. I'm gonna do a small video on my hair and show you guys what I do to it. My hair is really short, and it's easy to put in these little knots that I do, but I'll take it one day. It's shorter in the front and it's shorter in the front, but really long up here. It probably comes up to here like in an afro type of a situation, but it's thick, so. Okay.
Over here in the UK, is that gap shrinking?
Yeah, I don't think it was true to begin with. You know, William and Kate are extremely popular in America. I think the Queen was popular in America for the same reason.
All of them were popular. Harry was popular. We cared for Harry. We liked him. He was a bachelor. We couldn't wait to see who he was going to end up with it someday. It was great watching Harry. But I didn't know he was this weak and this vulnerable, because Meghan is allowed to do whatever she wants to do. I wonder, was that like with Trevor and Corey? I can't help but to think that, but Meghan lucked up and got someone that totally listens and does exactly what she tells them to do.
That she was popular here. I don't think, by the way, that Harry and Meghan could have done anything productive because they have no talent. So this was the only path they could have gone down.
I just said it. There's no talent. What the hell is she gonna do? Sing? Dance? Put on a play? Produce? What is she gonna do? What is she gonna do over here? Over there, over here, it's different. You have to have a talent. You cannot be over here pretending that you have one, because we're going to find out, and we have. She's not brandable. There's no branding there. There is no branding. There is no branding whatsoever, because she has no talent. And as the dust continues to settle, and we try to figure out what she brings that is so special to our lives that we should like and care about Meghan, she's a loser. We're done. They are done with Meghan. They have nothing else. She has nothing else to offer, to give, to provide, to do anything, because all she had was the trash. And now that is over, and she tried to do it again. She tried to resurrect it with the end game, because she knows that that's her semi-ticket to anything being interesting. But in the book, it talks about old repetitive stuff, and not even that, just a bunch of lies. Because everybody knows that Catherine didn't call or was concerned or gave a damn about someone's skin color. Why would she care? If that was the case, she would have been concerned about Meghan's in the beginning. That looks a little weird, Harry. You sure? We're going to have concerns because of Meghan's skin tone. All of a sudden, they got concerns, but they didn't have concerns when she walked in the building? That's why Oprah took that video down. Let me tell you something. You'll be back, Oprah. They're not playing it right now. You're off the hook this week. We're not talking about we're not talking about Catherine being named as a racist in King Charles, but your video was trending because she said it on your show. Stupid stuff.
But this is what happens when you chase fashionable causes, right? They die out.
Are you sure they have no talent? I mean, Meghan Markle was a successful actress. She was, of course, famously in Suits, and she married very well.
Did you watch Suits?
I've never seen it.
I did, to be fair. I did watch Suits, and I did enjoy it. I'm not sure if it was because of Meghan Markle's acting.
Well, it went on for too long and it was very boring. But that's my opinion. Look, Americans aren't stupid. They're seeing through it, and they see that this couple who are millionaires, they live in a mansion, you know, one of them is a royal, inherited millions. They don't represent the dispossessed, and they don't represent the disadvantaged, and there's no point pretending that they do.
They do try.
By the way, that Harry and Meghan could have done anything productive because they have no talent. So this was the only part.
He said, I don't think that they would have been able to do anything productive because they have no talent. And unfortunately, Netflix and Spotify thought she did and messed themselves totally up financially. It was a financial loss, not a financial gain for anyone other than Meghan. And now that people have found her out, and the CEO of the company has let us know that they're grifters, no one is knocking down their door. So why would I invest in these two? But he said they have no talent. That's why he's not surprised.
They could have gone down. But this is what happens when you chase fashionable causes, right? They die out.
This is what happens when you chase causes. This is what happens when you chase a dream that was dead in the water. That's what happens, Meghan, when you chase a dream of being big in Hollywood, bringing your family over here, trashing your family so that you can be able to stay in Hollywood while you become. That's what happens. This is what happens. You failed because you never was going to be successful on the angle of trashing the family. But then you realized that and started switching over to these other little gimmicky things like Spotify, Netflix, and all this other stuff that has failed miserably. And now you can't get a job. But that's what happens when you put all your eggs in this Hollywood dream that you had. I believe that if it was going to be a dream and you were going to be successful at it, then you would have been over here before you met Harry. But you wasn't in the same place that you were in when you first met him. You wanted him to catapult you over into Hollywood, where you at now, where you're being called a loser. Shame. It's a shame. My mom said that's a shame. I'm going to go see my mom today. I'm going to stop by and bring her some food. And I have an appointment over there. But, God, I guess I could take Kara with me. But no. Daddy's going to keep her. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to tell her what's going on. I'm going to say, Mom, they're calling Meghan a loser. Her Hollywood friends are calling her a loser. What do you think about that?
Are you sure they have no talent? I mean, Meghan Markle was a successful actress.
Media what?
She was, of course, famously in Suits, and she married very well.
Did you watch Suits?
I've never seen it.
I did, to be fair. I did watch Suits, and I did enjoy it.
I've never
I'm not
watched
sure if
it
it was because of Meghan Markle's acting.
Well, it went on for too long and it was very boring. But that's my opinion.
He said the show went on for too long and it was boring. It looked predictable to me. It just did. And I don't want to watch it. It doesn't interest me. It wasn't one of those shows that I think I could get into, even if I did know Meghan. I didn't watch it when I was a fan. So, I mean, does that make me a bad fan at the time? But I didn't care I didn't want to watch it. But I was a fan of hers, following her.
No, but
Totally disappointed. Meghan, I'm extremely disappointed in you. Extremely disappointed in your shenanigans, your behavior, what you have done, how you treat your family, your friends, and everyone, all for your personal gain. And now it's crumbling down like a ton of bricks. I'm going to put that Titanic thing back up because that's what I see. I saw it sooner. I saw it New York chase, car chase, all of that. But now it's abundantly clear that there is a failure, loser thing going on over there. And they are not doing so good because they don't have the backup that they need. Oprah has shut the door. Tyler Perry is shutting the door. He's done. He did what he said he needed to do. He rescued her. And now, that's it. What Tyler Perry, she's going to come and knocking on your door because she's going to need to play in one of those movies, or a reality TV star, because that's where she's at. She's a reality star now, and that's where she needs to focus herself at, and stop pretending that she's some graceful goddess from the UK, because you are not. They tried to make you into a princess, but you just keep being a frog. Ribbit. Ribbit.
To it, and they see that this couple who are millionaires, they live in a mansion, one of them is a royal, inherited millions. They don't represent the dispossessed, and they don't represent this couple who are millionaires, they live in a mansion, one of them is a royal.
They don't relate to anyone. I'm glad he said it, because I've been saying it, but they don't relate. There's no relatability. They can't relate to kids. They can't relate to teenagers. They can't relate to adults. They can't relate to older people. They don't relate to anyone. So those hugs and kisses that she do on her Archie World website, it's a bunch of fake and facade. I bet you each hug that she gave someone, they didn't feel any warmth. You know how you feel that warmth? Nothing. Just cold. I bet they was like, "Ooh, you cold, girl." No, nothing. Let me say it again.
Inherited millions. They don't represent
They don't
the
relate.
dispossessed.
They don't relate. They don't represent us. They don't represent the UK. They don't represent the United States. They don't represent anything other than themselves. And what it would look like to everybody else if I do this, this, and this. And she has played her cards extremely wrong. She has.
Represent the disadvantage, and there's no point pretending that they do.
They don't represent the disadvantage. They don't represent anyone. I see Catherine representing that for me. The disadvantage. Making sure that kids get good education and that childhood development in the beginning. And giving parents and kids what they need. Those kids were getting ready for Christmas. Meghan isn't getting her kids ready for Christmas and doing all that stuff. Meghan's just getting ready to show you her again. And now that she has shown us her over and over and over again, we're done. No one wants to see it anymore. Watch that video. Count how many times you see Meghan doing something, and count how many times you see Harry, and see who get the most views.
Try to, though. I mean, Meghan Markle's podcast, it was all about,
It's the podcast she got
women
paid $20 million.
Yes. Women who have struggled with X, Y, and Z throughout their lives. And it always came...
Meghan don't know about no struggle. What is she talking about? She talked about herself on those podcasts. She talked about racism and couldn't relate to it and really talk about it because she knows nothing about it. I don't know if she talked about that, because then she would have had to bring up her experience, which was a lie. But trying to relate to Serena and couldn't even relate to her. She couldn't relate to Mariah Carey. She couldn't relate to her. I'm not a diva. I'm not this and that. I'm perfect. And she's the biggest diva. Like she said, you're the biggest diva there is. 7-car convoy. It's 2-hour car chase, but it really wasn't. She is the biggest diva of them all, changing 8 times in one day. She changed 8 times for the Invictus. Sorry. She changed 8 times for that Invictus show. Each day. No, she's all about selfie-do. No, she is a diva, Mariah. And she's worse. You can't even compare her divaness to yours, because Meghan's is on a whole nother level, because I don't see Mariah coming out every 5 seconds explaining what she's doing every day to the press. Meghan is obsessed with hearing about herself in the news. Let me say that again. Meghan is obsessed with hearing her name and us talk about her, but she doesn't want the bad stuff. She doesn't want us to know that she's a loser and a failure.
Back to Meghan, and the problem is that once you're a multi-millionaire
One more video,
married to a
guys.
prince,
Let's
it
turn
no
this one
longer
off.
appears sincere anymore.
She's not sincere. She can't relate. She can't relate to anyone. We discussed that. I'm going to shut this one down. We're going to start a couple of more videos, and then I'm going to call it a day. Okay? Let's...
Anyway, this reporter that have deemed them the biggest losers of the year mocked them for their whiny Netflix documentary, their whiny biography, and their inert podcast.
All right, guys, let's go on to the next one. It's going to be a little bit more like this. Let me know when you want me to post it. The video, when it's the best time for me to post my videos. I usually, like, when I finish now, it'll probably take me 3 or 4 hours to post this video. It's about in the afternoon. I gotta go get a little bit shortly, but I try to post it not too late here because I know you guys are sleeping, but I try to get it out as quickly as I can. So listen, we're going to shut this one down. Kisses to all of you. Let me know what you think about this video, and hopefully you like this one and the next one. Kisses.